For 47 days, 7-year-old Emma waved at the same woman. For 47 days, the woman looked away. Everyone told Emma to stop. The pretty lady clearly wanted to be left alone. But Emma's daddy taught her that some people build walls, not because they don't want love, but because they've been hurt by it. On day 48, Emma didn't wave. She walked right up and asked the question that would change 3 lives forever. This is a story about the kindness that refuses to give up. Michael Chen had been a security guard at Chen Industries for 3 years. It wasn't the life he'd planned. He'd once been on track to become a detective. But when his wife passed away, plans changed. Dreams got smaller, and his daughter Emma became everything. "Daddy, I'm here!" Emma burst through the lobby doors, her school backpack bouncing, her braided hair flying behind her. Michael caught her in a hug, lifting her off her feet. "There's my favorite person in the whole world. How was school?" "Good. I got a gold star on my spelling test, and I shared my cookies with Marcus because he forgot his lunch. And Mrs. Patterson said I have excellent compassion." She said it all in one breath, beaming. "Excellent compassion, huh?" Michael set her down and straightened her braid. "That's my girl." Every day after school, Emma came to the building. She'd do her homework in the security office while Michael worked, surrounded by monitors showing every floor of the massive corporate tower. It wasn't ideal, but childcare was expensive, and Michael refused to let anyone else raise his daughter. "Daddy, can I sit by the fountain today? I finished my homework at school." "Already? Let me see." Emma proudly showed him her completed worksheets, every answer correct, every line neat. "You're too smart for your own good, you know that?" Michael ruffled her hair. "Okay, you can sit outside. But stay where I can see you from the cameras." I know. She grabbed her little bag, the one with her drawing supplies and snacks. "Daddy." "Yeah, sweetheart? Can I wave at people today? You said waving is free kindness." Michael smiled. That was something he'd told her after her mother died. When they couldn't afford presents or fancy things, he'd taught her that kindness was something they could always give. "Wave at everyone, baby girl. You never know who needs it." Emma skipped toward the courtyard, her yellow dress like a spot of sunshine in the corporate gray. Michael watched her go, his heart full and aching at the same time. She had her mother's warmth, her mother's stubborn belief that people were good. He hoped the world would never prove her wrong. Emma had waved at dozens of people that first afternoon. The mail carrier waved back and laughed. The lady with the coffee smiled and said how sweet. The man in the expensive suit nodded awkwardly and hurried away. But one person didn't wave back at all. She sat on the bench farthest from the building, partially hidden by a weeping willow. Every day, at exactly 12:15, she appeared. Every day she ate alone. And every day, she looked like the saddest person Emma had ever seen. "Daddy, who's that lady?" Emma asked that first night. "Which lady, sweetheart?" "The one who eats lunch by the willow tree. She never smiles. She never talks to anyone." And when I waved at her, she looked away really fast, like she was scared of waving. Michael knew exactly who Emma meant. Everyone in the building knew. But talking about her was complicated. "That's Ms. Chen. She owns the whole building. The whole company, actually. She owns everything." Emma's eyes went wide. "Like a queen. Something like that. Then why does she look so sad?" "Queens should be happy. They have everything." Michael sat down, pulling Emma onto his lap. "Sometimes, sweetheart, the people who have the most things have the least of what matters." "What matters?" "Friends, family, people who love you just because you're you." Emma thought about this for a long moment. Maybe nobody waves at her because they're scared, because she's a queen. But Daddy, she looked up at him with those wise hazel eyes. "Queens get lonely too, right? I imagine they do. Then I'm going to wave at her every day, until she waves back." even if it takes forever. That might be a while, baby girl. That's okay. Emma smiled with absolute certainty. You said kindness is patient, and some hearts just need more time. That's what you told me when I was sad about Mommy. Michael's throat tightened. She remembered everything. Just don't be disappointed if she never waves back. Some people have walls too high to climb. Maybe. Emma slid off his lap and headed to her room. Or maybe she just needs someone who keeps climbing. Alexandra Chen hadn't always been the woman on the bench. Once, she had been Alexandra Wu, bright-eyed, trusting, in love with her business partner and fiancé, David. Together, they had built Chen Industries from nothing. Late nights, shared dreams, a future that seemed limitless. Then, on the eve of their wedding, she discovered the truth. David hadn't loved her. He'd loved her ideas, her brilliance, her relentless drive. While she was planning their future, he was planning his exit, transferring patents, stealing clients, building a competing company with her designs. The man she would have died for had been stealing her life's work. The betrayal nearly destroyed her. But Alexandra didn't crumble. She fought. In court, in boardrooms, in the press. She won back her company and then made it 10 times larger. She buried David's business and watched his empire fall. But victory had cost her everything else. Trust no one became her religion. Need no one became her armor. She moved through the world like a ghost in designer clothes. Present, but never truly there. Miss Chen, your 1 o'clock is here. Her assistant's voice crackled through the intercom. Send them in. Another meeting. Another deal. Another day of performing strength she wasn't sure she still had. At 12:15, like every day, she escaped to the bench under the willow tree. It was the one place no one bothered her. The one place she could stop pretending. She'd just opened her lunch when movement caught her eye. The security guard's daughter. Again. The little girl stood by the fountain, waving at her with an enthusiasm that was almost aggressive. That same bright yellow dress. That same relentless smile. Alexandra looked away quickly, fixing her gaze on her salad. Go away, she thought. I don't want your kindness. I don't deserve it. I don't know what to do with it. But when she glanced back, the girl was still waving. Day after day, week after week, that child never stopped. It was, Alexandra thought, the most terrifying thing anyone had ever done to her. Day 7. Emma waved. Alexandra pretended to read. Day 12. Emma waved and added a little hop. Alexandra felt her lips twitch. Day 19. It rained. Emma stood under an umbrella held by her father, still waving. Alexandra watched from the window of her office, something cracking in her chest. Day 23. Emma brought a sign. Have a nice day, written in wobbly purple marker. Alexandra had to leave. She couldn't let anyone see her cry. Why don't you just wave back? Her assistant Margaret asked once. That child clearly adores you. She doesn't know me. Maybe that's the point. She's kind to you anyway. Alexandra didn't respond. Couldn't respond. How could she explain that kindness felt like a trap? That the last person who'd been kind to her had gutted her soul? Day 31. Michael approached Alexandra in the parking garage. Ms. Chen, I apologize if my daughter has been bothering you. I've told her to stop, but she's persistent. Alexandra's voice was ice. She gets it from her mother. Michael's eyes softened. Her mother believed everyone deserves someone who doesn't give up on them. Emma, she remembers that. Alexandra said nothing. She got in her car and drove away. But that night, alone in her penthouse, she Googled the security guard. Michael Chen Tart, widower, lost his wife to cancer 2 years ago. Raising his daughter alone while working full-time. Never missed a day. Never complained. He had every reason to be bitter. Every reason to teach his daughter that the world was cruel. Instead, He taught her to wave at strangers. Day 40. Emma's wave included a little dance. Alexandra actually laughed, then immediately looked around to make sure no one had seen. Day 45. Emma brought a flower. Just one dandelion, laid carefully on the far end of Alexandra's bench. A gift that expected nothing in return. Day 47. Emma waved. And for the first time, Alexandra's hand moved. Just a little. Just a twitch. But Emma saw it. The girl's whole face transformed into pure sunshine. In her chest, behind all the walls and ice and fear, Alexandra felt something stir. Something warm. Something that terrified her. Hope. On day 48, Emma didn't wave. Alexandra noticed immediately. She sat on her bench at 12:15, opened her lunch, and looked toward the fountain where the little girl always stood. But Emma wasn't there. Alexandra felt something that might have been disappointment, or might have been panic. After 47 days, had the child finally given up? Why do you always eat alone? Alexandra nearly dropped her salad. She turned to find Emma standing right beside the bench, close enough to touch, her hazel eyes huge and earnest. My daddy said I shouldn't bother you, but I'm not bothering you. Emma tilted her head. I'm asking you a question. That's different, is it? Questions are how we learn about people. So, why do you eat alone, pretty lady? Don't you have any friends? The question hit Alexandra like a physical blow. She couldn't finish, because the answer was too pathetic, too true. I don't have lots of friends either, Emma said, climbing onto the bench without permission. Just one. Her name is Sophie. But she moved away last month. Now I eat lunch alone too, sometimes. She pulled a squished peanut butter sandwich from her pocket. But not today. Today I'm eating with you. Is that okay? Alexandra should have said no. Should have sent her away. Should have protected herself from this tiny invader with her relentless kindness. Instead, she heard herself say, "What happened to your lunchbox? I gave it to Marcus. His broke and his mom couldn't buy a new one. My daddy says sharing is, let me guess, free kindness?" Emma's face lit up. You know about free kindness? I'm learning. They ate in silence for a moment, the billionaire CEO and the security guard's daughter, sharing a bench under a willow tree. I know why you don't wave back, Emma said finally. You do, You're scared. My daddy says some people are scared of kindness because they've been hurt before. Like rescue dogs. They growl because they think everyone will hurt them. Alexandra blinked. Did you just compare me to a rescue dog? Only a little. Emma grinned. But rescue dogs can learn to love again. My daddy said so. You just have to be patient with them. She reached over and patted Alexandra's hand. I'm very patient. I waited 47 days. I noticed. Was it hard, ignoring me? Alexandra looked at this remarkable child. So small, so brave, so utterly unafraid of rejection. Yes, she admitted. It was the hardest thing I've done in a very long time. Michael watched from the security cameras, his heart in his throat. His daughter was sitting with the CEO of the company. The COO, the woman who could fire him with a glance. And Emma was patting her hand. Oh, baby girl, he murmured. What are you doing? But he didn't intervene. His wife Sarah had always said children knew things adults had forgotten. They could see through pretense to the heart beneath. When Emma finally came bouncing back to the lobby, her smile was brighter than he'd ever seen it. Daddy, I made a new friend. Her name is Alexandra. And she's not scary at all. She's just sad. Can I have lunch with her tomorrow too? Sweetheart? She's a very important, very busy. She said yes. She said she'd like that. Emma did a little spin. She even laughed, Daddy. Not a big laugh, but a real one. I could tell because her eyes went crinkly. Michael knelt down to her level. Emma, you know she's my boss, right? The boss of everyone here. I know. That's why she's lonely. Everyone's scared of her because she's the boss. Emma's face grew serious. But you're not scared, right, Daddy? Michael thought about it. Was he scared? Maybe. But not of her power or position. He was scared of that look he'd seen in her eyes on the security cameras. The look of someone who'd forgotten they were allowed to be happy. No, sweetheart, I'm not scared. Good, because I invited her to eat in the lobby tomorrow with us. You can share your cookies. You did what? The next day, at 12:15, Alexandra Chen did something she'd never done before. She walked through her own lobby and sat down at the security desk, right next to a 7-year-old girl and her startled father. Room for one more, she asked quietly. Michael scrambled to clear space. Of course, Miss Chen. I'm sorry about the mess. Emma's art supplies are everywhere. Please. Her voice softened. Call me Alexandra. She looked at Emma. Your daughter made me an offer I couldn't refuse. Apparently your cookies are legendary. Emma beamed. Daddy makes the best chocolate chip cookies in the whole world. He uses Mommy's recipe. Something flickered in Alexandra's eyes. Your mother? She's in heaven now. But Daddy says she's still with us. In cookies, in hugs, and the way I laugh. Emma offered Alexandra a cookie from the tin. You can have her with you too, if you want. Alexandra took the cookie like it was made of gold. Michael watched her take a bite, watched her eyes close, watched the ice crack a little more. It's delicious, she whispered. Told you, Emma said happily. Everything's better when you share it. Lunch at the security desk became a daily ritual. At first, Alexandra would stay for just 10 minutes. Then 20. Then the whole hour. Emma taught her how to draw stick figures with personality. Apparently this involved adding hats. She showed her magic tricks that didn't really work. She talked about her class hamster with the seriousness of a nature documentary host. And Alexandra listened. Really listened. The way no one had listened to her since she was small enough to believe that people cared. Your daughter is remarkable, she told Michael one afternoon while Emma was in the restroom. She gets it from her mother. I don't think so. Alexandra looked at him, really looked, for the first time. She has your kindness. I've watched you on the security cameras for 3 years. Not in a creepy way, she added quickly. Just, I noticed things. Like what? Like how you always help the night cleaners carry their supplies. How you remember everyone's birthday. How you once spent your lunch break helping a lost intern find their way home. She paused. You have every reason to be hard. You've lost so much. But you're not. You're soft. Michael shifted uncomfortably. Soft isn't exactly a compliment for a security guard. It's a compliment for a human being. Their eyes met. Something sparked. Something neither of them was ready to name. Daddy! Alexandra! Emma burst back in, breaking the moment. I have the best idea. This weekend is the art fair at my school. You should both come. Daddy's helping with the lemonade stand and there's face painting and... Emma? Michael interrupted Ms. Chen. Alexandra probably has important things to do. Actually, Alexandra's voice was quiet. I don't. I never have anything to do on weekends. I just sit in my apartment. Alone. She looked at Emma. An art fair sounds wonderful. Emma's squeal could probably be heard on the top floor. As Alexandra left that day, Michael caught her at the door. Thank you, he said, for making her so happy. She's making me happy too. Alexandra's voice cracked slightly. I'd forgotten what that felt like. Then, I'm glad she reminded you. They stood there, closer than either intended, something new humming in the air between them. See you Saturday? Michael asked. See you Saturday. The art fair was perfect. Emma introduced Alexandra as my new best friend to everyone she met. Alexandra bought every painting Emma had made, even the one that was supposed to be a horse, but looked more like a spotted potato. They got matching butterfly face paints. They shared cotton candy. And Michael couldn't stop watching them. "You're staring," his friend Ben said from the lemonade stand. "I'm not. You absolutely are. And honestly, I get it." Ben glanced at Alexandra laughing as Emma put a flower crown on her head. "She looks different. Happy." "Yeah," Michael murmured. "She does." What he didn't see was the man watching from across the fairgrounds. David Price, Alexandra's ex-fiancé, had heard the rumors. The Ice Queen was seen at a school art fair. The Ice Queen was smiling. The Ice Queen was spending time with a security guard and his daughter. He couldn't believe it. The woman who had destroyed him, who had taken back her company and left him bankrupt, was playing house with the help. David pulled out his phone and made a call. "I have a story for you. About Alexandra Chen. Trust me, you're going to want to hear this." 2 days later, the articles dropped. CEO slumming it. Alexandra Chen's secret romance with lowly security guard. Like mother, like daughter. Is the Chen Industries CEO grooming her replacement already? The comments were worse. Anonymous vitriol about how Alexandra was desperate, pathetic, clearly losing her edge. And about Michael, assumptions about what he must want, accusations that he was using his daughter as bait. Michael found Alexandra in the parking garage that evening, trembling beside her car. "I saw the articles," she said before he could speak. "I'm so sorry. This is my fault. David found out and he does this. Whenever I'm happy, She couldn't finish. Michael reached for her, but she pulled away. "Don't, please. If you touch me right now, I'll fall apart and I can't." Her voice broke. "I can't let them see me fall apart. Who cares what they see? I care." The words came out raw. "I spent 5 years building walls so high that no one could hurt me. And then your daughter waved at me for 47 days. And I thought maybe..." Tears streamed down her face. "But I was wrong. I'm poison, Michael. Everyone who gets close to me gets hurt. Alexandra, stay away from me. For Emma's sake, please." She got in her car and drove away, leaving Michael standing alone in the garage, his heart breaking for a woman who wouldn't let him help. Emma didn't understand. "Why won't Alexandra eat lunch with us anymore? Did I do something wrong?" "No, baby girl." Michael pulled her onto his lap. "You didn't do anything wrong. Sometimes adults have problems, scary things from their past that make them run away. But running away is bad. You always say to face things." "I do say that. But sometimes people get so scared they forget." Emma was quiet for a long moment. Then she asked, "Is it because of the mean things people wrote online?" Mrs. Patterson talked about it in class. She said some people are bullies even when they're grown-ups. Michael's jaw tightened. He'd hoped Emma wouldn't hear about the articles. "Yes, sweetheart. Some people said mean things, and it hurt Alexandra very much. But they're wrong." Emma's small hands balled into fists. "She's not bad. She's kind. She bought my potato horse, and she said it was the most beautiful potato she ever saw. How can they say mean things about someone who likes potato horses?" Despite everything, Michael laughed. "I don't know, baby. People are complicated. I want to help her, Daddy. I want to make her feel better. I know you do. But sometimes people need to find their own way back." "No." Emma shook her head fiercely. "That's what you told me when Mommy was sick. You said we can't make people better by ourselves. But you also said we can hold their hand while they're trying. We can be there. We can keep showing up." Michael stared at his daughter, 7 years old, and wiser than anyone he knew. "I waved at her for 47 days, Emma continued. "I didn't give up then. I'm not giving up now." She looked up at him with determination that was entirely her mother's. "And you shouldn't either. I saw how you look at her, Daddy, like she's special, like she matters. She does matter. Then tell her she's not poison. Tell her we're not scared. Emma grabbed his hand. Because we're not. Right, Daddy. We're not scared. Michael squeezed her hand, feeling something shift in his chest. No, sweetheart. We're not scared. Good. Emma nodded decisively. Then we have a job to do. Operation. Bring Alexandra home. Alexandra hadn't left her penthouse in 5 days. She'd worked from home, ordered delivery, and refused every call. The board was concerned. Her assistant was frantic. But Alexandra couldn't face it, any of it. On the 6th day, someone knocked on her door. She ignored it. The knocking continued. Then stopped. Then a piece of paper slid under the door. Alexandra picked it up with trembling hands. It was a drawing. 3 stick figures holding hands under a rainbow. One small with a braid, one tall with a beard, one with long black hair and a heart on her dress. "That's us," was written in wobbly letters. "This is what families look like. You're part of ours now, even if you forgot." Alexandra opened the door. Emma stood there, holding more papers. Behind her, Michael waited with an expression that was half hope, half fear. "You came," Alexandra whispered. "I told you." Emma walked in without permission. "I don't give up." She handed Alexandra another drawing. This one showed the woman on the bench, all alone. But this time, there was a second figure approaching. A little girl with a yellow dress waving. "This is day 1, Emma explained. "When I first saw you, you looked so sad. And I thought maybe you just needed someone to see you. Really see you. Not the boss lady. Not the scary queen. Just you." Tears slipped down Alexandra's face. "And this one," Emma handed her another drawing. "This is now. See? You're not alone on the bench anymore. You have us." Alexandra sank to her knees, pulling Emma into a hug so fierce it surprised them both. "I'm scared," she admitted. "I'm so scared of letting people in. Of getting hurt again." "I know. Emma stroked her hair like she was the adult. "But my daddy says being scared is okay. Being scared and doing it anyway is called brave." Alexandra looked up at Michael, who had stepped inside, and closed the door. "She's right," he said quietly. "You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to try. And you don't have to try alone. The articles are garbage. Written by garbage people." He knelt down beside her. "I don't care what they say. I don't care what anyone says. My daughter sees something in you worth 47 days of waving. And I see something worth a lifetime of trying. You barely know me. Then let me know you. Let us know you. The real you. The one who laughed at Emma's potato horse and ate cookies like they were miracles and looked at my daughter like she was sunshine." "She's sunshine," Alexandra whispered. "So are you." Michael touched her face. "You just forgot. Let us remind you." Emma tugged on both their sleeves. "This is the part where you kiss. I saw it in a movie." "Emma," Michael groaned. "Bah." Alexandra laughed, really laughed, for the first time in days. "She's very bossy," she said. "She gets it from her mother." And then, with Emma cheering and the pile of stick figure drawings scattered around them, Michael kissed Alexandra Chen in her penthouse that had never once felt like home until now. If there had been a camera, it would have risen slowly from that penthouse living room, past the scattered drawings of stick figure families, past the window where city lights twinkled like earthbound stars, up into the night sky where perhaps Sarah Chen was watching. All that remained below was a square of golden light, and inside it, 3 people who had found exactly what they weren't looking for. A security guard who taught his daughter that kindness never fails. A CEO who learned that walls only keep out the good, along with the bad. And one little girl with a side braid and an unstoppable wave, who proved that 47 days of persistence can change everything. It started with a wave. Just one small hand, raised day after day, refusing to give up on a stranger everyone else had forgotten. Because that's what kindness does. It keeps showing up. It keeps climbing the walls we built. It keeps reminding us that we deserve to be seen, to be known, to be loved. Some hearts take longer to open, but the best things in life are worth waiting 47 days for, and then some. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button to support Tiny Cupid Tales. Every like and follow helps us bring more meaningful tales like this one to life. Stories about patience and persistence, about kindness that refuses to quit, and about the tiny cupids who wave and wave and wave, because sometimes the smallest hand can break down the tallest wall. Thank you for watching. Stay warm, stay kind. See you in the next tale.